Hello and a very warm welcome to all of you. I'm Meha Bharadwaj and tonight we're talking about the big game in the IPL, which is between one of the most successful teams ever in the IPL and the other, which has always been a star-studded team. It has been a team that has had some big names but hasn't been able to win the IPL title. That is right. It is Mumbai Indians versus Royal Challengers Bangalore at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. While Faf du Plessis has been in exceptional form this season, having scored 511 runs and wearing the orange cap at the moment, in contrast, this season hasn't been successful for Rohit Sharma, who's under scrutiny for an extended poor form, scoring 184 runs in 10 matches. So, RCB come into this match after losing to Delhi Capitals, who chased down the target of 181 in the 17th over. Phil Salt rubbing salt into their wounds. Sorry, couldn't resist. But Mumbai Indians lost to CSK, where the mighty Mumbai batting could only score 139 for 8, and CSK showed why they are so good at home, winning that game emphatically. So, tonight, both these teams will want to get out of that mid-table jam. Joining me now is Kushan Sarkar and Jamie Alter, who are not only just going to predict who is going to win tonight, but they are going to answer the most crucial question of the day. Will Rohit Sharma score some runs, gentlemen? It is important. It is now one of those situations for Mumbai Indians that you need their captain to put their hand up. Jamie, let me begin with you. Do you see that changing tonight? And the pressure, though, increases on Rohit Sharma in a situation like this, where everybody is talking about the lack of form. People are talking about, how this has been an extended lack of form, because he's actually scored just 2 half centuries in last 33 IPL games. So it's not just this season, it was last season as well. And for India's sake, we need Rohit Sharma to be scoring runs.
Absolutely. Of course, I think we discussed this last time as well. WTC final a month from now. And then 4 months later, barely, there's the World Cup. So definitely it is a matter of concern. Like we discussed the last time, all three of us, it's because it's Rohit Sharma in a World Cup year and a WTC final year that maybe there's a bit more scrutiny. But if you see, yes, he's gone 33 innings or 33 matches without a 50. He hasn't had that breakout season, like that 500-run season for many, many years. But it's a strange one, because if you look at Rohit Sharma in T20 internationals over the last year, he's not been outstanding, but he's been significantly better in that format. It's just that this IPL, he's either not getting starts. I think he has, 5 runs in his last 4 matches. Or if the starts have come, he's not able to convert into that big innings. He has 150 in this whole IPL. At the 10 innings, 184 runs, strike rate 126. So this is by far his worst IPL. But he's actually not been that bad in T20s. He's been given the start. If you stack him up against his opening partner in T20, is KL Rahul, he's actually done far better. So it's a strange one. And Ravi Shastri rightly said that no matter who you are, what your stature is, you're going to have these lows. It's just that because he's not got that big start for a long time, it gets amplified. But whether he's going to score in this match, I don't know. Because frankly, I've said for the last 6 matches, nahi, aaj marega. But then you see the way he got out in that Chennai match, right?
Yeah.
That was a very strange shot of a man who's clearly searching for ways to score runs. I was kind of happy that he went down to number 3. But then again, the shot that he played at number 3, maybe today he comes down at number 4, because there's too many stroke makers. You look at the strike rate in Mumbai Indians lineup. Most batsmen have been 150, 160 plus. Only Ishan Kishan is 135 and Rohit is 126. Maybe a case for him to even forget number 3, maybe come down to number 4. I don't know.
Yeah. There are 2 ways of looking at this, Kushan. One is the fact that, yes, he is the captain. He hasn't been scoring as many runs as he would have liked. He's going through a lean patch. But the second one, and the pressure, of course, keeps adding, because if you continue to fail, as we've seen with so many other players as well, top players, if you continue to fail, the pressure adds up and then you're really struggling. But he can look at it in another way, that he is actually in a team where he can afford to fail a little bit, because of the depth that team has, because of the kind of pedigree that team has, the power hitters that team has. So, there are 2 ways in which he can see this lean patch.
Oh, absolutely. always it's good to see the glasses half full. And if you ask me, as an Indian cricket fan, I don't mind Rohit Sharma having his worst IPL season and then going and scoring 100 at Oval, where he has scored his only test 100 in a Sena country. That's the only place where he has scored. And Rohit Sharma, if you see strangely, his international form has got nothing to do with IPL form. Like, I think Jamie, during last time we discussed Rohit Sharma, gave a very interesting statistical nugget about Rohit's IPL, that for last 7 seasons, I believe Jamie said, he hasn't scored 450 runs. He hasn't had a season. Like 450 to 500 is a standard good IPL season that is considered for big players. He didn't have that season. Despite that, also, if I take factor in 7 seasons, in that 7 season, you had 2019 World Cup where he has scored an unprecedented 500. Even this year, in the Border Gavaskar Trophy, the best 100 amongst the lot was scored by Rohit Sharma.
Yeah.
That 100 at Nagpur, I was fortunate to cover that match live, and that was probably, the pitch wasn't, I would say, the best of the tracks that was on offer. That was it was completely opposite of what was at Ahmedabad, and Rohit got those runs. He scored those runs. So Rohit, it's a case of when, not how. Yes, there are certain issues, like as you grow a bit older, the reflexes tend to come down, and it happens with the best of players. It happened with Virendra Sehwag. It has earlier happened with Chris Shrikant, who was a magnificent player of the 80s and 90s. He was ahead of his times in those times. Like if you today check Shrikant's stat, it will be 73 will be his strike rate. But don't go by that. 73 in those days was a fantastic strike rate. He would have been probably had a strike rate of 120 now. But Shrikant, 91, 92, to go to Australia, suddenly the reflexes fell. You could feel that during the World Cup. He was reacting to the ball at touch second. Is that happening with Rohit? But again, these kind of players, these are such class players, they can work around. They can work around it, and obviously Rohit will work around it. But as long as Mumbai Indians can win, I don't think the franchisee, the owners, the management, anyone will have the problem. They are looking at a larger goal and the trophy. And even the seasons that we're talking about, 3 of those 5 seasons, Rohit wasn't their best batsman, yet Mumbai Indians won the trophy. So, as you said, Meha, like they have a Tilak Verma, they have a Tim David, they have a Cam Green. They can afford. The Nehal Vadera is also not looking bad either. So, overall, if there is a bit of like Rohit can be given a bit of leeway in that, whether we can cut some slack with Rohit. But obviously, Mumbai Indians' main problem is the bowling attack.
Yes.
Not the batting. Yes, batting didn't do well.
Which I'm going to get to. Which I'm going to get to. But let's also then talk about where he should be batting. He dropped himself down. He came at number 3. Cameron Green opened with Ishan Kishan. Is that something that he'll do again? Jamie said that he'll probably come at number 4. But is that really the solution? Is that how he thinks he's going to come back to form? Kushan, your thoughts on that, and then I'll come to Jamie.
No, I completely don't buy the idea that Rohit Sharma should bat anywhere apart from opening. That is the place where he has got all his success. That is the player, that is the slot he is most suited to. He and Ishan Kishan, they make a good pair, left and right combination. I can understand that he's not getting the runs. He wanted to try something different, but that different didn't work out, did it? It didn't. So why mend something that ain't broken? Yes, you're not getting runs for some period of time, but I would consider that this as a temporary phase. I don't want to see Rohit Sharma batting anywhere apart from that opening slot.
Okay. Nowhere else apart from that opening slot. Jamie, do you think that's the right way? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to be batting as an opener for India as well. Is that where he should stick to and then continue to bat?
I mean, Kushan is right. That's where...
Okay, let me just cut you short. We'll also put this out to our viewers who's watching. Where do you think Rohit Sharma should bat? He came 1 down in the last game against Chennai Super Kings. Didn't really work. Got out for a duck. The openers, Cameron Green also, I think scored 7 runs. Ishan Kishan also didn't score. Is that something that he should look to do, come one down, or should he continue to bat in right at the top? Yes, Jamie, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where he scored the bulk of his run. But I think T20 in 2023 has reached a stage where you don't need to have too many people in set roles. But 6, 7 years ago, when he was struggling, he actually brought himself down to number 4 and did decently well. So it wouldn't be the first time. Now the question is, is the team still saying, "Hey, Rohit, aaj chalega"? What happens if he goes back to opening and he fails again? Right? He's not doing the team any good. So when you have a liability at the top right now, or in a more crude form, you have a walking wicket. What is there to be gained? I think the stage is past, because now you finally got to 10 points, but there's 5 points. There's 5 teams with 10 points. I think, frankly, I know it's not going to happen. Mumbai should move beyond trying to work with something that actually is broken. I'm going to disagree with Kushan a little bit. Rohit Sharma, the opener, frankly, is broken right now, right? What do you stand to gain by hoping that he gets back into form? And by form, what do you expect? 20, 25, 30? If that's what you're expecting the best, then I think you're going down the wrong thing. You have 6 batsmen scoring at 160 plus. Give one of them a chance. Cameron Green's best role is actually opening, right? He didn't work last match, but between the two, I would go for the guy who's got momentum and boundaries hitting ability on his side. Right now, Rohit Sharma, you have nothing to gain by trying to open him. Maybe not 4, maybe try him at 3. It comes down to that desire, that need to get to the playoffs. And I don't think putting a walking wicket back right now is doing their chances any good, because they have to win every single match from now. Winning is in Mumbai's DNA. There's no more successful team. Let's hope that they don't make the mistake of having him open again, because I don't see him getting out of this funk anytime soon.
Okay, the other thing being also Ishan Kishan at the other end, who's been batting well but not striking at the kind of strike rate that we'd expect both the openers to be striking. I think he has the least when it comes to strike rate in that batting lineup for Mumbai Indians. Okay, but let's also then talk about how this is a team that is completely dependent on their batting. And maybe, Kushan, maybe Mumbai Indians should erect a statue of Piyush Chawla by the end of this season. Who would have thought? I mean, if Piyush Chawla wasn't bowling like the way he's bowling, this team would have found it very difficult to win and would have been languishing at the bottom of the points table.
Well, yes, and but Neha, I'm not surprised. Like, Piyush has now won 75 wickets, I believe, in IPL, and he's among the top 5 wicket takers. So it hasn't happened overnight. He has been this format. This tournament, he has been the consistent performer. Otherwise, in this cutthroat business, you wouldn't invest on a guy like Piyush Chawla, who has not played for India, I believe, for how many, 10 years? Even more, that he has not played for India, but he has been a precious commodity in IPL. But I'll tell you, Meha, this is my feeling. I would like to know from Jamie also. I feeling Jofra Archer's injury, and now that he has pulled out of IPL, that is going to be a blessing in disguise for Mumbai Indians, because I believe Jason Behrendorff would be a better choice. At times we go by the investments we have made and by the big name, because they invested highly in Jofra last year when he was unfit, thinking that this year he will be fit, but he is not fit. And right now, at the end of the day, when it's an England player who is still a test cricketer, Ashes remains that holy grail. Ashes remains the priority. Whatever they do, Ashes remains their priority. So for Jofra to be fit for Ashes is way more important than how he can serve for Mumbai. And I'm not saying that he doesn't want to serve for Mumbai Indians, but at this point in time, probably he doesn't want to stretch it and take himself to a point, because he also had a minor procedure in Belgium, which we came to know from the English papers, English media, where ECB confirmed. And then he also confirmed, Mark Boucher also confirmed during a Mumbai Indians press meet, that Jofra indeed went to Belgium for a procedure on the elbow, which has already undergone, I think, a surgery. So at this point in time, Jofra was not giving you anything, like 5 matches, 2 wickets, economy rate of 9.50, bowling strike rate of 60. Those are not the numbers that you wish for and you have invested in. If you have invested $1 million in a man. So Jason Behrendorff, in whatever little I saw, against Delhi Capitals at the Kotla, I felt that he could be, with his left arm angle and everything, he could be someone who
Could be,
more
could
effective than
prove
Jofra.
crucial for them. Okay, now you look at Jofra Archer, Jamie, and I remember, the auction in which he was bought, and there were two, split opinions really. Some thought that was a great investment, and some said you're looking way too far ahead. You're punting on somebody who's injury prone. Jasprit Bumrah already is somebody, who's struggled with injuries in the past. Is it too much of a risk that you're taking? And clearly now this has been a wrong investment for Mumbai Indians because Jasprit Bumrah is out and now Jofra Archer flies out as well. Chris Jordan comes in but nowhere close to the replacement that they would have liked. This has been out and out a bad investment for them.
On the face of it, yes, but I think we've discussed this before. They were, to my mind, they were building a team for 5 years. The fact that they went for Archer, knowing that he probably would not play last year, it says that they didn't expect the team to win the title last year and even this year. Because even Jasprit Bumrah, we all know. I mean, we've all been following and tracking. Kushan more than others has been tracking Bumrah's developments. You know that even Bumrah was always going to be a doubt. So I don't know how seriously Mumbai aspired to win the title this year. Definitely make the playoffs, yes. But I think like several other teams, the auction reset, that's also impacted them. And it could even be the Rohit struggles are also, a product of that. I think Ravi Shastri also mentioned this. You don't have the players who would support you, right? Ishan Kishan has been decent. A lot of new players. So I'm not surprised that Mumbai are struggling to make the playoffs. But again, if Jofra Archer were fit, things would have been different. But look, they're not going to let him go. There's no auction next year, so they have to work on that investment. The ROI has been disastrous. I mean, the guy didn't play a match last year. I even joked, or I half joked this year. He only came here just to show his face to the bosses. Even he knew that he's not going to play. And what? I think you had the stats up. He played 3 matches. What is this? What is the
5
strike
matches,
rate?
3
90 or
wickets.
something?
Yes,
5 matches,
and clearly,
exactly. So
clearly struggling.
On the basis of him not being there last year, and definitely not enough people are saying the guy just did not look match fit in those few matches we saw, right? You already had a Jason Behrendorff, and Kushan is right. Even I think he played 2 matches at the Wankhede, went for a bit of runs in that match against Punjab. But tall left armour on that track where there's something in the power play, any day I would have played Jason Behrendorff over what looked to me, and I think we're all in agreement, a half-baked Jofra Archer.
Okay, now I'd put this question to our viewers as to what position should Rohit Sharma bat? Ravi Shankar Kumar agrees with you, Jamie, thinks that Rohit Sharma should come at number 4. So keep putting your comments in the comment section below. Who is the player you think who's going to score runs? Is Rohit Sharma going to be able to score runs today? The other big question that I want to ask you guys is that this team now finds itself in that mid-table jam, right? 5 teams at the moment have 10 points each. 6, I think, are the number of teams that can actually get to 16 points, that magical number. So we've often seen this as we get into this business end of the IPL where there is this, the intensity rises and there's the race to playoffs that heats up. But do you see Mumbai Indians or RCB qualifying for the playoffs? Jamie, let's start with you and then I'll come to Kushan. And I'm going to also put this to our viewers. Do you think RCB and Mumbai Indians, will they make it to the playoffs? Or one of them, what is the team you think that'll make it to the playoffs? Let us know in the comment section below. Go ahead, Jamie.
See, the team that wins today jumps straight to number 3, right? RCB at least were hovering around the top 4 or 5, consistently. A team like Bangalore, which was 10, 9, and 9 and 8 for the longest time, for them to suddenly, if they win today, if they suddenly jump to 3, between them, I just go back to that winning DNA. RCB, dur tak, have no winning DNA. 16 seasons have been proof of this. They don't have a winning DNA, right? Between the two, I said before, I think Mumbai Indians, whenever the dust settles on the league stage, I think they'll be sitting at number 3, if not number 4. Despite the struggles of Rohit Sharma, despite Piyush Chawla being the only consistent wicket taker, if there's one team which I believe can get it together and surge into the playoffs, it is Mumbai over Bangalore any day.
Okay, Kushan, do you agree? Mumbai Indians more likely to make it to the playoffs or RCB? Mumbai, I think, if Mumbai want to make it to the playoffs, they have to outbat every team that they play from here on, because that's what is going to save them. Kushan, your thoughts?
Yeah, and I believe this time what I am not really impressed with Mumbai Indians is the kind of Indian talent. Like Mumbai Indians, I've always believed have had the best talent scouts in the country. Whether it's John Wright, whether it's Rahul Sangvi, they have a very solid core of talent scouts, because that's where you got a Jasprit Bumrah and a Hardik Pandya, two precious diamonds that Indian cricket got in the last 10 years. And that is because of Mumbai Indians talent scouts. Yes, they were playing domestic cricket, but where they got that fame, where they came into the limelight was because of the MI talent scout. Yes, no offense, Jasprit played 25 first-class matches. Hardik was also playing for Baroda, but they needed to be found out. The talent needed to be tapped. But if you ask about Arshad Khan, then I think there was another guy I saw last day, the spinner. I am not really like, obviously they can blossom. More they play, they might just get better. But you see that spark. I always say that there is a spark. Hardik Pandya had that spark. Jasprit Bumrah, when you first saw him, you saw that spark. I don't see that spark. Like Tilak Verma, the moment you saw, you knew that you were seeing something special over here. This guy is going to wear the other blue shirt also. He's not just going to wear the MI blue. But I do not know. I can say that about some of these new domestic talent that Mumbai Indians has got. And that is where, like in the batting, Nehal Vadhera, who has had good season for Punjab, under 25, under 19. He was a big hitter. He was known in the junior circuit as a big hitter. Nehal Vadhera was known. Like those who tracked junior cricket and pathways cricket knew that Nehal Vadhera. That's a good choice. Tilak Verma we've seen last season, and that was not a one-off season. We can now see that it was not a one-off season. He is that talent who would be then and there. But I can't say that about the kind of Indian bowlers that they have got in the roster.
Absolutely. I mean, they've tried, Madhuwal and Arshad Khan, like you were saying. There is, of course, Nehal Vadhera. Ritik Shaukin has been bowling for them, but you're right that those.
Ritik Shaukin is a good cricketer. They should have stuck by him.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Now, a couple of more comments. Tuhin Kumar Basu is cheering for Royal Challengers Bangalore and thinks that they will be the one that will qualify. Royal Challengers Bangalore, is Sala Cup naam de? Har saal they'll say it, but fans just somehow have so much faith in Royal Challengers Bangalore. Then Sanjay Tiwari is asking us, gentlemen, please discuss Virat Kohli's strike rate. Let's talk about RCB's batting. It's the big three. They constantly depend on these three. Glenn Maxwell hasn't been, I mean, he scored runs in the first half, but now he hasn't been scoring runs. I think the last was, 3 or 4 matches back where he played a good knock. So important when 1/3 of your batting is not scoring runs, though Faf du Plessis and Virat Kohli are making up for it, and Maipal Lomror scored in the last game. But this is the big problem. It'll remain a big problem, Jamie, for them. The problem is that I don't see anybody else scoring for them. Yes, Lomror scored in the last game, but that consistency hasn't been there. Dinesh Karthik, he's been an absolute disappointment. Basically, every time you're facing Royal Challengers Bangalore, you just have to get Faf du Plessis out. We'll also get to Virat Kohli's strike rate and why he strikes at that, especially after the power play. That's also going to be a discussion. But first on how this is a team that is going to struggle.
Absolutely, and this is not a new phenomenon with Bangalore. I think they've always been one of the weaker sides to come out of an auction, more so with the bowling. But when you're batting, again, I'm going to sound like a stuck cricketer when I say this, when your batting starts and ends with your openers, you're going to struggle, right? Now, Glenn Maxwell, look, he's always going to have the highest strike rate in this team. I think it's 186, 187 right now, but he's barely crossed 250 runs, right? He's got 350s. But if you look at Glenn Maxwell, if he's playing 14 matches, reasonably, can you expect him to click in more than 5 of those? It's not going to happen. When he clicks, you're going to say, wow, there's no better guy in T20s, right? After Joss Butler, he's amazing to watch, but he's very inconsistent. What that does is that means that one of Virat Kohli and Faf du Plessis, they know we have to bat 18, 19 overs. If the strike rate comes down, that's okay because we cannot expect Glenn Maxwell to do the job, right? That
Yeah.
86 he got in that match against with the Chennai when they almost pulled it off. Fantastic inning, right? Uske baad, his very next match was a golden duck. I think he slogged the ball and was caught at short third man, right? So that's what you're going to get with Glenn Maxwell. Faf du Plessis has been brilliant, 500 something runs. Strike rate is very healthy, and you're right by saying, okay, if you get him, it's a big deal. Regarding Virat Kohli's strike rate, yes, there is a bit of room to be critical, but when you see that he's got 650s in a team which basically has 3 players, can you be too harsh on him this year? Probably not. Past years, you would have said, yeah, but 135, given his predicament, given the fact that he doesn't have as good a game against spinners as before, I think 135, most people will happily take it because uske aage hai kaun Bangalore ke paas?
I'm in agreement with Jamie. Do you agree as well, Kushant? Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's just these 3, and it also goes on to show how absolutely brilliant Faf du Plessis has been. That despite knowing that this team is so dependent on him, somehow he manages to stay at a strike rate of 157, 150 plus, when there are just 3 players who are scoring runs for you. Somebody is going to step back. Glenn Maxwell, Jamie is right. He's striking at what, 181, hasn't been scoring, hasn't been as consistent in scoring runs, but he is striking as well as he can. So there has to be somebody who has to stay in there, has to rotate the strike, has to build a partnership in case Faf du Plessis or Glenn Maxwell get out. Yes, in the power plays you need to go hard, but after that there is a reason and a valid reason for Virat Kohli's strike rate to come down.
I believe if Faf is striking, Virat can take it a bit easy. And if you see, this time Virat having understood that Maxwell plays a high-risk percentage game, and Virat also has a template that it is very difficult for Virat at 34, pushing on 35, to change that template. Faf has taken that initiative and changed himself. Go back, Meha, and check Faf's record over a decade of playing IPL. 125-26 matches and a career IPL strike rate of 133. So from 133, if he is having a strike rate of 157, Jamie would also agree it's a quantum jump. And for that quantum jump, he has had to change his game and switch his gears post power play. Power play is difficult, but power play is the easiest time to bat with the field restrictions on. The most difficult time is 7 to 15, where Faf has changed his game, where Virat is probably not changing his game or is not being able to hit that many boundaries against the spinners. So that is where Faf has scored. He has, in fact, he has said that I have worked on switching gears. He had told RCB's in-house content team about it, and there was a media release yesterday about Faf talking about his own game and how he has molded it, and that's why the 133 has become 157. The career 133. This year it's 157. So Faf, you are dependent. About Glenn Maxwell has never played spinners well. He has a big legion of fans in India, and you can be massively trolled, Meha, if you say anything. Like I had said that what is Glenn Maxwell's ROI when he gets such deals over the years at IPL auction, and I was massively trolled, and that's fine. That's part of the game. Like that's the nature of the beast called social media. You have got to take that in your stride. But at the same time, like I can just laugh that after 10 matches, the statistics that I'm seeing that you have shown me on the screen, I am vindicated.
Okay. Yes. So I look at Polo. Jamie, you want to say something?
No, it's absolutely Glenn Maxwell. Yes, they call him Maxi. When he's dynamite, the guy is dynamite. Well, you drop your food and rush to watch him. But how often are those innings going to come? The stats across the IPL, they show it.
Okay. Now let's also talk about their bowling. Every time Gujarat Titans are playing, or Royal Challengers Bangalore are playing. The only thing I'm looking at is whether Mohammad Siraj is okay and Mohammad Shami is okay. Now, I'm going to put this, and I know this is a controversial one, okay, because RCB are not in a situation where they are going to make it to the playoffs. Should they really manage Mohammad Siraj's workload? And the same question for Mohammad Shami as well. Your thoughts? Let's begin with Kushan and then Jamie. Or Jamie, you've got to go, so let me start with Jamie and then I'll come to Kushan.
Look, I mean, if I look at that WTC June 7th, it is Mohammad Siraj and Mohammad Shami have to start there, right? So far, they've held up. And you're right, there's always the concern, especially second half IPL, how is Mohammad Shami holding up? He's done brilliantly. He and Rashid Khan have been vying for the purple cap. Outstanding. But again, I don't see any of these two franchises. I mean, Bangalore is really struggling to make it. Gujarat is pretty much gone through. I still don't think they will bench Siraj because he's been head and shoulders above their best.
The rest, yeah.
I mean, the best bowler, right? He's had 1 or 2 bad matches, but if Mohammad Siraj is having just 1 or 2 bad matches out of 10, that means he's had a very good season. And his striking in the power play has been exceptional. Aaj ka match, Wankhede, a bit of juice, a bit of swing. He and Josh Hazelwood could be, very, very tough to play inside the power play. I don't think the team is going to rest him. And if Bangalore don't make it, then good for Siraj. He gets a few extra days to get a break before, because WTC, yes, this is a T20 based show. We're talking about IPL. I still think that match is far more important than 14 matches playing for any franchise.
Absolutely. And I mean, I agree. I know the answer to this question, but the question still needs to be put forward because of the number of injuries that we are seeing in this Indian team. Yes, Kushan.
Yeah, there's no two ways about it that they won't be rested, because at the end of the day, if I am an investor, if I am a stakeholder in an IPL team, if I've paid 1 crore, 2 crores or 4 crores, whatever, I'm very bad with numbers and the salary figures, but whatever, they've all been paid in crores. So why would a franchisee compromise? They have bought these players for their service for 2 months. So no one can actually tell them that please bowl him 2 overs, please bowl him 3 overs. And I'll give you a small information. I will not tell you the name. I had called up one of the influential coaching staff of Gujarat Titans. He happens to pick up my call, like those few people who pick up my call and are not irritated. And I asked him that, will you rest Mohammad Shami? He said that, give me in writing, okay, 56 overs is the maximum that you will bowl, and 64 overs. If 16 matches Gujarat Titans play till the final, 64 overs. Okay, Kushan, I will settle down for 40 overs. I will bowl, Mohammad Shami will bowl 40 overs, but give it to me someone should give it to me in writing that in this 40 overs, he will not pull a hammy, he will not pull a calf. He will not. You'll not have an on-field injury. There are 2 kinds of injury: fitness injury and on-field injury. KL Rahul didn't have a fitness injury; it was an on-field injury while chasing the ball. So can you give it to me in writing that this is going to happen? And then he gave me an example of how much Kapil Paji used to bowl, and but there used to be a designated off-season, so I didn't actually buy his idea. But he said that Kapil Paji, when he played for Northamptonshire, used to bowl 5 days because he had to play county cricket, and then there will be a Sunday League or the Gillette Cup match, and you'll be bowling. Wasim Akram says that the more I bowled, the more I got tired, sharper I got. So I do not know, there are theories to it, but a lot of people, even Saurav Ganguly has spoken to us, said that if you're bowling 4 overs, that shouldn't be a problem because you are only adding miles to your legs. At the end of the day, whether it's white ball or red ball, you're adding miles to your legs. So that is there. But that point that the GT coaching staff told me, it stays with me, that give it to me in writing, that I'll settle for 40 overs and he will not pull a hand.
Yeah, I mean,
and I had no answer.
Good argument, but we know where that is coming from as well. They've got to justify the fact that they're going to be bowling, but that does not mean that workload is not an issue with these bowlers. And again, we're comparing 2 eras. We're comparing different seasons. Now look at their schedules. I mean, you've not seen this kind of overpacked schedule even till, say, 6-7 years back or 8 years back. But IPL, there are leagues all over the world. Things are only going to get more and more busy for all these cricketers. So, okay, let's then move on to their bowling. We've already spoken about Mohammad Siraj and how important his role has been for Royal Challengers Bangalore. But what about the others? Josh Hazlewood coming back, how big an impact will that have on RCB? And now I feel like their bowling looks far more settled. Vyashak has gone for runs, but he's also, you know, I mean, this is just, he's so young, he's just learning the ropes.
Season.
Correct.
It's his first season. Vijay Kumar Vishak, but he has had good domestic season for
exactly.
Karnataka.
Hasaranga is also
done
now
well in across formats.
So Hasaranga is also looking good. So in that sense, now you look at RCB, they do have a balanced team. Yes, batting there are concerns, but bowling somewhat good. Kushan?
I think Josh Hazlewood would be a handful, because at the end of the day, at the Wankhede, though it's a good fine batting wicket, but at the Wankhede, you get a lot of bounce. And Josh Hazlewood is someone, if he bowls that 3/4 length in that opening spell, because he is that kind of a bowler, he can exploit those conditions well. Number one. Number two, Josh Hazlewood hasn't had a lot of cricket due to his injury. He didn't play the Border Gavaskar Trophy at all because of his injury. And then after coming back also, he did his rehab, part of his rehab with the RCB in Bangalore. And now he's slowly building up his bowling miles. So, Josh Hazlewood, for his own good before the Ashes, would like to bowl with some serious intent. And that is the biggest boon, I believe, for RCB, that Josh needs those bowling overs. He doesn't have it. A lot of people, like we're talking about Siraj or Shami and their workload. Josh Hazlewood doesn't have too many bowling miles. He wants those overs under his belt, those serious overs where he can build on it before he leaves for the Ashes. So I believe that is actually a blessing in disguise for RCB.
Okay, we're also putting this question out to you. Mumbai Indians versus Royal Challengers Bangalore. That's the big game. Tonight, who do you think will win? Will Rohit Sharma get some runs, much needed runs? And also the team that you're supporting that you think will make it to the playoffs. I've already had one person say Royal Challengers Bangalore. Mumbai Indian fans, where are you? There's another comment where Tuhin is saying RCB miss Rajat Patidar, and that is a huge problem with them. We saw what Rajat Patidar did in the last season. But the other thing is also, Kushan, that when it comes to these big teams and teams that end up doing well, it's not just about getting your playing 11 right, but also the bench strength, also to have options in case someone gets injured. And clearly, this was a big problem for Royal Challengers Bangalore. They really couldn't find anyone for Rajat Patidar.
Not only for Royal Challengers Bangalore, Neha, the moment 8 teams became 10 teams, yes, India is a minefield of talent. India is a cricket industry. But some simple math will tell you that if IPL is a competition, you have 10 teams. And if each team has 25 players each, so you have 250 players. You have you take 7 foreigners, so you have 10 into 7, 70 foreigners are out. Then you have 180 Indian players. 180 out of them, you have 25 top Indian players who are playing across formats, and another 20 in the targeted and pathway system. So there is 50. So if you subtract the 50 from 180, then you still need 130 players to fill up your team. So are these 130 players all good enough? So the moment you have more teams means you need more players. But there is supply. But is the supply commensurate with the kind of demands you have? That is the question. So the more teams you increase, obviously the quality of Indian players, unpopular opinion, is going to dilute. And whatever you see in Ranji Trophy or at the Syed Mushtaq Ali or in Vijay Hazare is necessarily not going to be indicative of what you are going to get when these people face the quality bowlers. When they face a Mohammad Shami, they face a Josh Hazlewood, they face a Jasprit Bumrah, they face a Jofra Archer. These kind of bowlers, when they are facing, what they will do, because they are not facing these kind of bowlers when they are playing Smash or they are playing Vijay Hazare or they are playing Ranji Trophy. Mandeep Singh scores tons of runs. Why isn't Mandeep Singh successful in IPL? He has been there from 2009 onwards after he came back, I think from 2010 onwards, from under-19 India, that season for New Zealand. Mandeep Singh has, I think, 13 seasons. And probably he has changed 10 teams. That means that he is not good enough that any team believes that they can keep him. I'm just giving an example. It's not like pointing finger only at Mandeep Singh, but there are plenty of those kind of players. So the more teams you will have the standard of dilution will happen.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, let's talk about the big matchups that you're looking forward to tonight. One is, of course, Faf du Plessis versus Piyush Chawla. I was just looking at that matchup. He does struggle, and Piyush Chawla has got him out a couple of times. Will they do that? Because, I mean, that is really, Piyush Chawla has been their most potent weapon, and why not bring him out straight for the big names?
Yes, that will be a very, very interesting matchup. And even Piyush Chawla versus Virat Kohli could be a very good matchup. If Virat is batting beyond that power play over, Piyush can be brought in the power play. But there's one fight that I would like to look at if it happens. That is Josh Hazelwood and Mohammad Siraj versus Rohit Sharma. Rohit is a compulsive hooker and puller. And I would love to see what will be Hazelwood and Siraj's tactic against the Indian captain. Will they go for the jugular? Will they go for that short ball, or will they bowl much more fuller? That will be a very good battle.
Yeah, well, that's a good one. That's a good one. Also, you know, with Mumbai Indians, when you see the batting and how you've seen in this season, you say, wow, this is a brilliant batting. Look at the depth they have. You know, there's no respite for bowlers of the opposition. But this batting lineup has imploded in a couple of games where they've just gotten out, and we wondered how is it even possible. Last game, but also I think the game against Kolkata Knight Riders, they were all out for 113 odd. So I think they want to go hammer and tongs even after a wicket falls, but that sometimes does go against them.
You mean, I just lost you there. You mean Mumbai?
Yes.
Yeah, that is happening, and that is precisely happening because, again, Rohit has had his share. So if you're losing a wicket pretty early, he has had, I think, 2 ducks, and I think another 3 or 4 scores of below 10. That is not even double digits. So 6 out of 10 scores, he has had less than 10 runs. So obviously, you cannot just look the other way around. You have to, that is a problem. So the moment you lose 1 or 2 wickets, then comes a phase where you want to consolidate. But again, Mumbai Indians is one team where I don't think you need any anchor.
Yeah.
You have a Surya, you have a Cam Green, you have a Tim David, you have a Tilak Verma. I do not know, Tilak Verma was injured last match, so how is he shaping up? Whether he's available today, we do not know. We'll be getting to know in an hour's time from now. But obviously, you do not need any anchors in this Mumbai Indians team. Delhi Capitals, I can believe you need anchors because you do not have, apart from these 3 foreigners, that Phil Salt and David Warner and Mitch Marsh, and Riley Russo had his first decent game yesterday. But the Indian players haven't joined the party. Like you had Aman Khan playing 1 match and all. So they need those anchors, because what David Warner said, that if I see 3 wickets losing, how can I play my natural game? But in Mumbai Indians, they should go just hell for leather. They shouldn't care, because Surya knows that there is a Tim David after him. He should just go, and then Nehal Vadera played a good game.
Yeah.
Although probably he was under pressure with so many wickets gone.
Yes.
Otherwise, Nehal Vadera is one guy who will grow. Like he's someone you will grow. The liking will grow with time. It will not be an instant liking, but I am confident that we will start liking Nehal Vadera as we see more of him.
I was just looking at Royal Challengers Bangalore's batting. Faf du Plessis 511, Virat Kohli 419, Glenn Maxwell 262, Maipal Lomror 132, and then Dinesh Karthik 110. Nobody else is scoring runs for Royal Challengers Bangalore other than these 3, and then Maipal Lomror has played a couple of innings, 150 for him. But this is a huge problem, and I think a lot of Royal Challengers Bangalore fans would be very disappointed in Dinesh Karthik, because there have been situations, Kushan, in this season where he's come at a time which is a perfect time, which he said, you know, I've been practicing for these particular match situations where, you know, I have to strike at 200 plus, and we saw him do that in the last season. But this season, absolute and utter failure.
Oh yes, and I do not know that next season, like there is no auction, but there will be some trade-offs and some releases. So I wouldn't be surprised if I do not know, like, but I know Virat Kohli has a lot more say than anyone else.
Yes.
Virat Kohli, the owners, and they talk to Virat Kohli when they build a team. And Virat Kohli, we historically I know has always backed Dinesh Karthik. If I look at that, and
Yeah.
2019 World Cup, like a selected told at that point of time said that there was only one player for whom he had all the statistics and everything ready when he came in. Like he had all the answers ready. Like he was like that student who knew each and every answer that is going to be thrown, because it was that I needed Dinesh Karthik and not Ambati Rayudu. So that was there. The selection, one member of the selection committee before the 2019 World Cup meeting said that this happened. After the tenure was over, they said that this has happened. So with Dinesh Karthik, I do not know, but again, he now has an alternate career also.
Yeah.
He has made a name for himself as a commentator. He will be commentating in the Ashes, which is also, I would say, a big feather in his cap, that we do not see too many Indian commentators being called for Ashes. So he's over there. So he has his second career ready, but he's still enjoying his cricket. That's why he's playing. But with this kind of a performance next year, I do not know. But again, I mean, if he has IPL with 10 teams, you need players like Dinesh Karthik.
And I also feel, like you said, Virat Kohli does think that he's useful, does think that, because I think in one of the interviews, Virat Kohli also said that he played a good innings towards the end. So he still believes that Dinesh Karthik can finish matches.
And it's very natural.
Finish matches for them. But I think what stands out for me this season has been how well Faf du Plessis has got into this. Because I feel like when AB de Villiers left, you know, you thought that nobody could come close to what AB was to RCB. And again, Faf needs to play more seasons like AB has done and what he's done for Royal Challengers Bangalore. But he's really fitted in that role well. He, he goes with the philosophy of Royal Challengers Bangalore. He's made the kind of impact that they expected out of him. Virat Kohli loves him. So in that sense, I mean, Faf du Plessis has been ideal for Royal Challengers Bangalore as a captain, as a player.
He is that calming influence. Like, not too many people will fancy the idea of being the captain and then with a ribcage injury, just being an impact player in the team, letting Virat Kohli lead. And for that, you need someone who doesn't carry baggages, who doesn't have that ego. And if you see big players, they are magnanimous. If you are big, you got to be magnanimous, a big-hearted player. And Faf du Plessis is that a big-hearted player. He was one of Dhoni's favorite go-to men. Like Dhoni, there are few players like Devon Conway. Conway will play. I believe the next 7-8 years he will again be the CSK legend. Like he has taken to like the fish to water the role that Faf used to play. So Faf is that invaluable player. And he has understood that Royal Challengers Bangalore team revolves around Virat Kohli. Whether they win, they lose, the team revolves around Virat Kohli. So it is imperative that Virat is allowed to play the game he wants to play, rather than telling him, sermonizing him or anything. As a captain, without any ego, he changed his game, which was a 133-134 game, because he was batting with Rutu over there for the 2 seasons, where Rutu was taking and he was doing that. He changed his game. And for a captain to say that I am doing it, you do your job, it takes a lot of doing. And that speaks of the human being also that he is. The team man that also he is. And that is where RCB okay, fine, they have not had, they have had a middling kind of a season till now, but RCB is still not out of the race. Like
Yeah,
16
absolutely.
points, like 3 out of the 4, and they can afford to lose only 1 out of the next 3, not
Yeah.
more than that. But again, they are still there. They're there.
Absolutely, they can make it to the playoffs. They are still very much there in the race. Then it's time for me to wrap this up. But just before we finish the show, Kushan, who do you think has the advantage today? Royal Challengers Bangalore needed just Virat Kohli and Faf du Plessis to score some 148 runs or something together to win the last game they played this season in Bangalore. The Mumbai Indians have won 4 out of their 6 matches chasing. So that's advantage in case Mumbai chase. But looking at how these two teams are going, who has the advantage at the Wankhede?
I would still give it to the home team, the Mumbai Indians, and I'll give it to them simply because of the fact that probably this is the time where losing Jofra Archer isn't a bad thing. If Jofra Archer would have been available for selection and he's not doing well and you are still compelled to play him, that would have been some kind of a predicament for them. But right now, with no Jofra Archer available, and if Tilak Verma, I hope he's fit today, they will still hold some advantage over RCB. That's my personal feeling. But at the end of the day, RCB is also too good a team, and Wankhede being a flat deck that we have seen, like RCB can also have that advantage of scoring huge if they bat first. But
again, on top of that,
my money would be on MI for this game.
Okay, so Kushan puts his money on MI, but remember that both Virat Kohli and Faf du Plessis love batting at the Wankhede. They love batting against Mumbai Indians. So if they get going, it is not going to be easy for Mumbai Indians. Kushan, thank you so much for joining us here on this special. So there you have it. It's Mumbai Indians versus Royal Challengers Bangalore. One team that has been the most successful team in the IPL, and the other has the biggest names, has the biggest fan following, but hasn't been able to win. Can they, or haven't been able to win a title? Can they change it this time around? And they are in a position, they're right in the middle of the points table. They need to win more matches from here on. Can Virat Kohli and Faf du Plessis and Royal Challengers Bangalore do that? They might want to win tonight if they want to have the chances or the hopes of winning or making it to the playoffs. That's it from us. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.